Hi, and welcome to another episode of Around the Neighborhood with me, Scott McMahon, and this is a show about the quest for fun, history, and mystery in our backyards. And today I'm in the historic Willamette Main Street here in West Lynn, and as you can see, the Main Street is still under construction. In fact, I don't think it's going to be finished until about July, and they're going to have like a grand opening in July just for phase one. But then in October, they're supposed to plant the trees and possibly have another grand opening. But as of right now, this side of the street of Main Street is still being worked on, but across the way they got most of the sidewalk put in place, and that's going to give access to these buildings and the fire department a little easier ability to get onto the main street. As you can see on this side of me, as I teeter on this curbside here, they still have some ways to go to get this side of the street finished. Speaking of Main Street, I didn't know that there was a nationwide organization over at mainstreet.org whose belief is that everyone deserves a vibrant neighborhood that preserves the character and promotes the local businesses. Historic Willamette is just that. We have the Clackamas County Historical Society, which focuses on the whole county, and then we have the West Lynn Historical Society that focuses on all of West Lynn. But do you know that we have an organization that just focuses on this street, on Main Street, and that's the Historic Willamette Main Street. And the crazy thing, they're all separate organizations. The Historic Willamette Main Street focuses on 4 points of interest: design, economic vitality, organization, and promotions. It's made up of volunteers who run the committees that cover those 4 points. And part of the promotions focus is to put together the summer market. In the past years, the summer market took place every Wednesday along Main Street, but as you can see, this doesn't seem feasible this year. On top of that, we're in the middle of a historic pandemic, which at the time of this recording, the county has just approved the first phase of reopening. So we're going to take a quick look at how this year's summer market will be different. The summer market is scheduled to run every Wednesday from 3:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. starting June 3rd, 2020, and ends August 26, 2020. The owners of the Willamette Ale and Cider House have opened up the back part of their property to house this year's summer market. And speaking of the Willamette Ale and Cider House, I did a whole episode on this historic building in a past episode, which I'll leave a link in the description in case you're interested in watching that one. As we walk along the back part of 14th Street, you can see that the Willamette Ale and Cider House have started their phase one of reopening to allow patrons to sit outside. So as we head down 14th Street, we're going to come across 8th Avenue. So as we turn onto 8th Avenue, this is where the food cart vendors will be located. And then when we walk around the corner here, this is the entrance into the market. It'll be a one-way direction, and they're only going to be letting a limited number of people through at any given time. And the vendors are going to be lined up all along this back patio area of the Ale and Cider House. And yes, the vendors will be wearing masks and gloves and actually have some various social distancing officers in place to ensure safety for everyone involved. There are going to be hand washing stations in place. Masks are highly encouraged, and some other neighborhood markets in town have tried to open up before, but they were just sort of like free-for-alls and very little order in place. The Historic Willamette Committee is doing their best to implement safer protocols for this particular market. Because the market runs several weeks, the plans and the layout may change as they see what works and what doesn't. I bet most of you are wondering about parking. Well, if we continue down 8th, there will be public parking in the Les Schwab parking lot. We can all commend our local businesses for trying to do what they need to do to keep moving forward. And if you think you can help and participate in a safe manner, then come on down and check out the summer market. Again, every Wednesday from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m., starting June 3rd, going to August 26th. You know, I actually meant to record here yesterday when they were doing all the cleanup for the area, but I got sucked down a rabbit hole, which was the live streaming of SpaceX launch. And then we had some heavy rain and thunderstorms, so I digress. Since the show is sponsored by my real estate services, all my contact information is listed in the description below in case you had any questions about buying or selling a home, especially in this neighborhood. But in the meantime, if you wanted to check out other episodes about this area, just head on over to aroundtheneighborhood.tv And with that said, I'll be sure to leave links to all the other organizations I mentioned in this video below. And yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the neighborhood. The historic Willamette Main Street focuses on 4 points of interest: design, economic vitality. Anyway, the historic Willamette Main Street focuses on 4 points of interest: design, oh, Sunday. The historic Willamette Main Street focuses on 4 points of interest: design, I just need to focus. Focus.